So my name is Olaf Cheney. I'm the Sergeant and Supervisor for the Homeless Outreach Team, also known as HOT. I have a team of 6, so it will be a supervisor myself along with 6 officers. And our mission is to go out into the community and contact the homeless individuals and enforce various camping ordinances, as well as providing outreach, encourage them to use the resources that we have in this city to get off the street. HOT's main goal shifted over time here, and when I came over to HOT a couple of years ago, our focus shifted to enforcement. That was a big part of what we had to try and do in order to keep Colorado Springs beautiful and clean. So every day we go out, our priority is to contact camps, trespassers involving homeless individuals, and to enforce the laws that we have for the city as well as state laws for camping. We always have plenty of bed space at the shelter available, anywhere from 200 to 250 every single night. And so the resources are there for them. So our goal is to go out, enforce the laws, and encourage folks to take advantage of all the resources that we do have in this city. One of the other things that we do regularly is check people for warrants. What we've learned is there's a lot of drug activity, so we check everybody for warrants as we go through the camps. Fortunately, a whole lot of felons out there in that homeless community as well that commit serious crimes, and it's important and incumbent upon us as police officers to protect the other citizens out there, including the other homeless folks that are just trying to get through day by day. So once we contact an individual, we provide them with the resource contacts, so we conduct the enforcement side of things as well. We also then will introduce them to the Homeward Pikes Peak individual to take a housing survey, or if they have any questions specific for them to help them get off the street, they'll do everything they can too to point them in different directions in order to get what they need. And the rescue mission, we work very closely with them. We will take anybody to the rescue mission, to their intake, and we'll do that for anybody if they want it. It's a sanctuary church, West Side Cares, place for juveniles and young adults. So we try to work with anybody and everybody that we can to get these folks moving in the right direction. Biggest win for us every single day, no matter what we do and how we do it, is if we can get a person either a rehab, substance abuse program, or into the rescue mission. That'll always be the biggest win. If they're willing to do that, we can help them do that.
So I joined the HOT unit at the end of 2021. The reason I joined it is because of what I had seen and what I was hearing over the radio with the guys that were already on the unit, and how they were being proactive and the differences that they were making here within the city. And hearing that and seeing that sparked my interest. I started talking to these guys, trying to learn a little bit more about the unit. Once I did talk to them, I decided, hey, that's something that I'd be interested in, I want to try out. And so, the more communication I had with those folks, it gave me, motivated me more to interview and get on with the HOT team.
The reason why I chose to join the homeless outreach team is while I was on patrol on the west side Gold Hill subdivision, I noticed that the homeless community was a very underserved community. A lot of crime, believe it or not, takes place amongst members experiencing homelessness. Seeing a need for it and seeing that the unit was expanding and was going to have some openings, I saw it as an opportunity to do my part and kind of focus, instead of going call to call, focus on a community that is being affected by so many other crimes like assaults, narcotics abuse, mental health. I saw it as an opportunity where I could actually focus on trying to be a difference. It's very tough, it's very hard. All we can do is treat them in a professional and ethical manner, and give them good service just like we would anyone else in our community. I think that was my motivating factor to join the team.
I can speak, there's a handful of folks that I have personally helped. One of the examples is a lady with a young teenage daughter. We're experiencing homelessness, living in a camp. After we contacted the mom and we learned that she did have a daughter at the camp, we were able to use some of our resources that are available to us. Homeward Pikes Peak helped this lady out and her child, ultimately getting them off the street, get them into some temporary housing. We did see the family, the mom and the daughter, 6 months later, who came out and gave us a hug, said that she's got a job now. They have vehicles and they are doing 10 times better. The daughter's back in school full time. And those are some of the examples that we have, how we've helped the community, which helps, drive me to continue doing this job.
We get there and there is a 12-year-old girl in a camp by herself. Mom had a county warrant that was requiring her to be transported to jail and booked on. We knew it wasn't right. We knew that in that moment, preservation of life and making sure that everyone's safe, took precedence over all. And so we were able to communicate with the El Paso County Jail, work out some things. Since it was just one county warrant, I believe it was a traffic charge, they were willing to give her a PR bond because there was no one that could watch this little girl. We ended up working with that mom and kid for a couple of weeks through Homeward Pikes Peak. She got into a assisted living type housing. She's back on her feet and now they have an apartment. I think that's gonna make, for me, that'll always stand out, because in a moment where it could have been, hey, listen, you're going to jail, I don't want to hear it, because we're inundated with so many calls and so many contacts. That was a moment where you realize that this is more than just writing tickets. This is more about, the only way I'm going to help you is by showing you tough love, and just because we have that approach doesn't mean we're not humans, doesn't mean we don't listen. It took some time, heard her frustrations out, and now they're off the streets.
The best way to help those folks is I would caution people to be careful approaching anybody, and not to say that you can't say hi to them downtown if they're on a corner and things like that. There's certainly nothing wrong with that. However, there is a lot of crime in the homeless community. There's a lot of folks, felons in the homeless community that just got to be careful with. And so I just would caution you on how you approach some of these folks, because there's also a lot of drugs in the homeless community, unfortunately, that we come across every single day. So I would say call dispatch, call medical if you think they need medical, call a PD's dispatch. They can send a unit out there, they can send a hot team out there, and if we're available, and certainly we can take a look and see what they need, or if they need any kind of medical help, or if they are willing to get off the street, we can provide them those resources as well. I can tell you, there's a lot of people out there that think that we're not a very nice group of folks, that we're picking on the homeless and things like that. But I can honestly say that I've got 6 guys that are always looking for ways to help these folks get off the street. We're willing to transport them to the nearest shelter. We're willing to make phone calls for them if someone wants to pick them up, or to get them to family if possible. We'll take them to jail if they have warrants to get them out of the cold. Sometimes they just don't want to move, or they don't want to budge, and if we're able to get them off the street on a very cold night by a warrant, I feel a lot better doing that than leaving them out there where something could happen to them with some kind of cold weather injury, or even possibly death. And those are the times we certainly don't want to see those type of things happen. But the team they're always looking to reach out and trying to get people to help, but we also hold people accountable. And I need the people to understand that too for this city, is we do hold people accountable. We don't want to become some of these other cities that have just allowed things to get out of hand. We try to keep the city as beautiful as we can, holding people accountable, helping them when they want the help, and trying to get rid of take care of the drugs off the street as well, because the homeless are a vulnerable population that the dealers are taking advantage of.